Today we're diving into a really powerful moment in the book of Jeremiah. It's a prophecy where, right in the middle of a storm of judgment, this incredible ray of hope just breaks through. This is the story of a new, and even greater, Exodus.
And right away, the core message is just so powerful. Judgment is never the final word. As Jeremiah is laying out this coming destruction for his people, he also pulls back the curtain on this absolutely breathtaking vision of restoration. So this painful chapter, it's not the end of the story. It's actually a necessary part of a much bigger, much grander plan.
Now, to really get what's going on here, we kind of need to see the historical backdrop. This prophecy was given in the darkest of times, right around 586 BC, when Babylon just completely destroyed Jerusalem. But it points forward with this unwavering hope to 538 BC, which is when that long, tough journey home would finally begin. It's an incredible shift from total disaster to a miraculous rescue.
Okay, so Jeremiah 16, verse 14. It kicks off with the word therefore, and that's a huge clue. It directly connects the hope that's coming to the judgment we just heard about. God is essentially saying, hey, listen, because of this painful purification, something totally new is about to happen. He declares that the foundational story of Israel, their escape from Egypt, is about to be overshadowed by something even bigger.
Now, this isn't about hitting the delete button on the memory of the first Exodus. Not at all. It's more like announcing a sequel that's so profound, so epic, it's going to reshape Israel's entire identity. The original story is the benchmark, for sure, but a brand new, more magnificent chapter is about to be written.
So what's going to replace that old saying? Well, verse 15 tells us, the new declaration of faith is all going to be about their deliverance from the land of the north, and that's a direct shot at Babylon, where they were exiled. And you got to notice the powerful emphasis here. I will bring them again. This isn't just politics playing out. This is a deliberate, promise-keeping act of God himself.
And this is where prophecy smacks right into history. It's so cool. In 538 BC, the Persian king, Cyrus the Great, he issues a decree that lets the Jewish exiles go home. Now, for the people hearing Jeremiah say this for the first time, that would have sounded like an impossible dream. But the prophecy presents it as an absolute certainty. So how is this massive regathering even going to work? Verse 16 gives us this incredibly vivid picture of fishers and hunters. Now, it's really important to get this. This isn't about converting other people. This is about meticulously and completely bringing God's own people back home from all the places they've been scattered. Let's just break down that imagery a little. The fishers, think of them casting these huge nets, gathering up large groups of people from all over the nations. But the hunters, that's different. That's a more precise, relentless search, seeking out every last person hidden in the most remote corners of the world. The goal here is total recovery. The message is clear. Nobody gets left behind. But, this restoration isn't just a simple pardon that sweeps everything under the rug. Verse 17 makes it crystal clear that God knows everything, and that knowledge is the foundation for both the judgment and the restoration. The exile happened in the first place because their sins were not hidden from him. Justice had to be served before this new chapter of hope could begin. And this brings us to a phrase in verse 18 that can be, a little tough to swallow. God says he will first repay their sin double. Now, on the surface, that can sound really excessive, like overly harsh. But the original language means something very specific here. So in this context, double means a full and complete payment. Think of it like a debt being paid in full, every last penny. The land had been polluted by idolatry, and divine justice demanded a deep cleaning. Once that price was paid, once the debt was settled, the land was purified and ready for its people to come home.
And right here, the prophecy just takes this breathtaking turn. In verse 19, the camera suddenly pans way out. The scope expands dramatically from just Israel's restoration to a global spiritual awakening. Jeremiah sees a future where the nations, the Gentiles, will be drawn to God from the very ends of the earth. It's incredible.
This is a huge, pivotal moment. It's looking forward to a time when the God of Israel is no longer seen as some tribal deity, but is recognized as the one true God of all creation. These nations are going to look at their own traditions, their own gods, and say, wow, we've inherited nothing but empty lies. Israel's restoration actually becomes the very thing that triggers the world's revelation. Then verse 20 just drops this sharp, rhetorical question that cuts right to the heart of idolatry. It exposes how fundamentally absurd the whole thing is. Can a person make their own gods? Of course not. How can something you make with your own hands have any real power? The actions of the one true God are going to make this truth undeniably clear to everyone. And the whole passage builds to this powerful, divine declaration in verse 21. That phrase, "this once," it signals a final, decisive, unforgettable revelation. It's like God is saying, through the judgment, the exile, and this incredible restoration, I'm going to make sure that my power, my might, and my name, the Lord, are known without a single shadow of a doubt.
So to just quickly recap this incredible prophetic journey, it starts with the devastation and scattering of 586 BC. Then it moves to the beginning of the return in 538. And the two massive themes are, one, a new exodus that's even greater than the original, and two, through this amazing act, the power and name of God are revealed not just to Israel, but to the whole world.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? I think it's this powerful three-part truth. Judgment isn't the end, it actually purifies. Restoration isn't just about going home, it reveals God to the world, and through all of it, one thing is made absolutely clear: the name of the Lord endures.